Hey, what's up, Improvement Warrior? JasonYun, back with you again. Welcome to Improvement Warrior Podcast, episode number 2. It's recording session number 3, and obviously you can, if you're watching the video, you can see I am recording in my third place. I am outside. It's about 60, 63 degrees, no clouds, sun feels amazing. It does get a little cold when wind starts building up, but hey, can't complain. Making the vitamin D. So we got a shorter podcast for you today. This is one I will be bringing in periodically as I write blog posts. So what I'll be doing is basically going over a blog reading. So the last blog I wrote was called Sell Chaos, and I realized people learn different ways. So I do a lot of blog reading, book reading, audible, so audiobooks, read a lot of blogs, go over webinars, watch videos. But I understand a lot of people, they want to learn they have a set way they like to learn. So sometimes podcast is the only way that they can learn. So I'm going to be reading it, bringing that information to you. So all the stuff that I put out, blogs, newsletters, videos, webinars, it's stuff that I am currently learning and implementing. So obviously if I continue to do it, that means it's pretty important, and it's had an impact on my health, and by bringing it to you in this format, hopefully it will make an impact on you. So we'll be going over that blog post, and we'll also be going over the memes of the week, which I like to call memes. So whenever I read something, especially something that I do not understand, I typically make a meme of it. So basically I can go back to it and it can solidify my knowledge. Sometimes they're over the head of certain people, but hey, you gotta start where you are and progress from there. So it's been, I think, about almost 2 weeks since I recorded the last podcast. Last week was my birthday, and March 2nd, birthday week. So March 2nd was the birthday Tuesday. I had two treat days, March 2nd, Tuesday, and then also Saturday. And I broke the record for myself, my record for calories on both days. March 2nd, I had 11,991 calories, and Saturday I had 12,612 calories. Saturday was a surprise. I didn't think I ate that much, but when you add them all up, that's what it came out to. So yesterday, Sunday, was recovery day. Had my big seafood meal, cold tub, lots of sun, and today I am fasting. So it's, as of recording this, it's 2:30 in the afternoon. So I've been fasting since 5:30. So 21 hours so far. I feel great. So grounding helps. Grounding the sun, you get 2/3 of your electrons from nature and only 1/3 of your electrons from food. So all food breaks down to protons and electrons, which we'll get into in a later episode. Next treat day won't be until April the 3rd, or around there, which is my son's birthday. We'll be in Florida for that. Wife's already made a reservation at one of the Disney buffets. So pretty much if you go to a buffet, you can't really eat healthy. Most buffets, because of the oils that they cook them in and all that stuff. But that'll be the next one. So, and then other stuff I've been working on, the Bushcraft stuff. So I've got all the wood transferred into the back of the yard. Did some landscaping, moving some rocks and bricks out into the back to make the shelter and the fire pit. And there's going to be one more thing. I need to make a sawhorse out of wood and stuff. So I'll keep you updated on that. I'll make videos on that. So learning ever so slowly, but it's time to start implementing it now that the weather is getting colder or warmer. All right, let's get into this podcast and let's start reading the Cell Chaos blog. So if you are watching, you can follow along as I'm reading. I will add some ad-libs in for things that I should have included but did not think about it. So Cell Chaos, Morning Sun Part 10. So I have a video series that I'm making in the morning called Morning Sun, and right now there's about 15 parts. It's usually just me rambling about the sun and all that stuff. All right, okay. And I wrote this on February 19th, so it was when we were going through that cold spell, just so you have some context on what this is. All right, Cell Chaos, Morning Sun, Part 10. In the United States, we are going through a cold spell. It's been about 2 to 3 weeks since I've seen the grass and also other people's, well, more importantly, other people's grass. I still shovel my grass for a good grounding spot, but even in Texas right now, it is snowing and they don't know how to deal with it. Cold thermogenesis works regardless of how you feel about the cold. And the one awesome thing about right now is that it's still cold in the winter, or in the morning, so it'll get down to about 30, 40 degrees, and now it's 60, 63. So you're getting contrast of both, and the contrast of both is awesome for your biology and cell biology, mitochondria. In this video below that I shot in early January, I talk about the benefits of cold exposure. I will add the video in here now and also the audio in here now. Hey, what's up, Improvement Warrior? JasonYun back with you again, getting some sunshine. January the 9th, 2021. It's the second day in a row sun has showed up. Yesterday was the first day I saw the sun all year. Everybody's out. Peyton, Spencer, say hello. Hi. So I'm out. Kaniki, monkey's out. Grounding. Been out for almost 30 minutes now, and part of me is shivering, but part of me is feeling awesome. So it's the power of the sun, and that's the Fournier effect. So cold on one part, cold on parts of your body, and then warm heat on the other parts. So it does amazing things. It's still the morning. It's 11:20, I believe. So morning sun, part of the most beneficial sun that you can get. Melatonin, dopamine, POMC, nitric oxide, all that stuff. Vitamin D is not available until the 20th. The 20th of January. Be quiet. Okay? But, yeah, just wanted to let you know. So cold thermogenesis and the sun working together is just one of the most beneficial things that you can do.
Thanks, Bubble.
It's one of the most beneficial things you can do. So cold helps to basically shrink our respiratory proteins inside our mitochondria, so the electrons inside there don't need to tunnel as far, so it makes you more energy efficient. Okay, same thing that the sun does as well. Okay, and then breathing in the fresh oxygen. All diseases can be said to be one form or a certain percentage of oxygen deprivation.
30 minutes completed. Burnt calories 187 calories.
Okay, so oxygen is getting talked about more and more. Okay, and especially in the alternative health world, because oxygen is what food ultimately turns into. It reduces down to when we eat the food, the electrons and protons get stripped. Okay, but then the electrons go through electron chain transport through the mitochondria in order to reduce to oxygen. Okay, and then when it reduces to oxygen, it creates more electrons in the body, and then it's just a continual pattern. Because energy cannot be created or destroyed. It's simply recycled. Okay, so we're made up of subatomic particles, protons, electrons, and a bunch of other things. Okay, and those, once you leave this world, okay, those protons and electrons get transferred all over the place. Okay, so they might go into this bush here, or these grasses, or they might go into my dog, or my son, or you could be living off of electrons from people of the past. Okay, so you don't know. Okay, you could have the electrons of a serial killer, or you could have the electrons of Mother Teresa. Okay, we're all made of the same thing. We're all made of the same thing. Okay, we are stardust. Just remember that. Okay, that is the thing that drives us. Circadian biology, number one for our health. But otherwise, if you have questions about light, nutrition, fitness, anything, let me know. That's why I'm here. Our 34-day light challenge. Check it out. ImprovementWarriorFitness.com/light matters most. I'll check you later. Have a great day. Stay strong. Stay positive. Be the improvement warrior. Get outside. Get cold. Get healthy. Spencer, say bye-bye.
Bye.
Peyton, say bye-bye. Nope.
Say bye-bye.
He doesn't want to. Our skin and our eyes need to see that sun, especially in the warmer months. However, when the temperature drops below 62 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 16 degrees Celsius, our body and our master circadian clock, the suprachiasmatic nucleus, turns over to cold as its main environmental sensor. But, and it's a big but, if you live the life of an indoor zoo animal and live under your thermostat at 66 to 72 degrees, then your body is getting the signal of a perpetual summer or spring. This creates a circadian mismatch, which creates cell chaos, which I'll discuss later in this post. Vitamin D has been out where I live in Columbus, Ohio since January 20th, 2021. Be sure that you have the D-Minder app downloaded. It will tell you exactly how much vitamin D you are making per minute based on your latitude and the time of the year. And there's a meme in here. Protons have 2,000 times more mass than electrons. Hot water has more protons. Cold water has more electrons and more oxygen. Cold shrinks protons and ultimately shrinks mass. Cold shrinks fat mass. Cold thermogenesis is always a good thing. So cold thermogenesis is one of the most beneficial things we can do. It basically is a reset for our battery. We have batteries. We have basically, your mitochondria is basically a battery inside of you. It's what drives our energy. So it drives energy production up. We have respiratory proteins inside of us. The distance between these respiratory proteins is known as heteroplasmy. And as it goes up, then you can ensure you are losing energy or losing electrons and gaining protons, and you are getting closer to dying. However, with cold, we can actually stop the progression and reverse the direction if we are doing some other things correctly and not living a toxic lifestyle. Sun will also help us do that as well, especially when it is more powerful in the spring and summer. Oxygen deprivation is associated with every disease and every death. 2 to 3 minutes without it and you are basically brain dead. Electrons are the subatomic particle that nature or evolution or God or whoever you chose to believe in chose to drive our biology. Electrons enter and travel through the mitochondria through the electron chain transport, where they ultimately reduce down to oxygen to create more electrons, and the process repeats. Another meme in here. So life is a picture of the sun, or sunrise. So life exists and operates on a quantum scale. There are 100,000, approximately 100,000 biological reactions every second in every cell. The electromagnetic force controls the protons and electrons inside of your cells. There are 8, 683, 317, 618, 816, 495, 518, 194, 401, 280, 000, different frequencies of light between 260 and 700 nanometers. Okay? It's a light story, folks. So it is a quantum process, electron chain transport. So anything that affects oxygen, it's a quantum process. Anything that oxygen, breathing, the quantum process, electron chain transport, anything going on in your body is a quantum process. It happens in the split second. So anything that affects oxygen will affect the human and will affect the cell. The cell is us. We have hundreds of trillions of cells and tens to thousands of mitochondria in each cell. Without the proper mechanisms, oxygen, sunlight, DHA, etc., then those cells experience cell chaos. Chaos for the cell is known as inflammation. Inflammation leads to every disease known to man. Your environment decides which genes get turned on, which is known as epigenetics, and hence which diseases you get, or which disease you get, or diseases. But all that chaos can be reversed. Diseases can be reversed. Cold is one of the best ways we can do that. Even if you are cold all the time, then you know your mitochondria suck, and you are experiencing cell chaos. Another meme here. So fear of the cold is also fear of health. Do not fear the cold. Go into the cold, embrace it. You have to go through the winter in order to experience the greatness of the spring. Okay? So if you are fearful of cold, fix that. It is a mindset issue. You can change that. Your mind wants to keep you comfortable. Always remember that. Mindset matters most, and one of the best ways to train your mind is get the fuck out in the fucking cold. It's that simple. Start with taking a cold shower. It's one of the easiest ways to start. Okay. And if you don't know how, let me show you the way. So the 34-day light challenge is my introductory course. Also, my 17-step mitochondriac guide gives you a brief overview of the main things to do. Okay. So improvementwarriorfitness.com/light challenge, improvementwarriorfitness.com/mitochondriac will get you those web pages, which I'll add into the show notes. Okay. We are stardust. We come from stars. Our life star is the sun. Nature is never wrong. Man is wrong all the time. Greed clouds man's judgments. Nature simply is. Has no greed, no ego. Is here for all that will embrace it. Will that be you? Okay. Let me stop this here. Technical difficulties there, stopping the share. Also, it's kind of tough to see my computer with Iris on. Download Iris. Awesome filter for your computer screen. So when I'm indoors, I wear blue blockers because there is a backlit blue light coming from the computer. But when I'm outside, the sun is shining into my eyes. And now we will hear from one of our sponsors, the 34-Day Light Challenge.
34-Day Light Challenge. Your light environment is more important than the food you eat and the exercise you do. The world needs more light gurus and less food ones. This path requires that you suspend the belief that to get healthy, all you have to do is change your diet and start exercising. This is a half-truth that is missing the other half. The other half is the reason why we are in the middle of multiple disease epidemics. The 34-Day Light Challenge is not a nutrition or exercise challenge. This challenge will teach you all you need to know about the health habits in regards to light, natural, and artificial that will put you on your path to optimal. Mitochondria is our powerhouse of the cell, and if it goes bad, then it doesn't matter what you do in terms of nutrition, exercise, supplements, drugs, doctor visits, yada yada yada. Until you fix the mitochondria, your health will suffer. Think of it as an engine of your car. Do you get more scared when the service engine light comes on or the low fuel light comes on? You probably have seen the low fuel light many times before. Maybe you are one who actually ran out of gas. But when that engine light comes on, it's a big, uh-oh, what's wrong and how much is this going to cost me? When your engine breaks, the fuel you put in makes no difference at all. The 34-Day Light Challenge is going to help you fix your engine. Register today at improvementwarriorfitness.com/light-challenge.
We're going to go over one of my memes that I have created here. It is called Sunlight to Grow, which will be in the show notes that you can see. Share it out because everybody needs to know that sunlight is vital to growth. All right, so it says there's 3 different sections of it. It's basically me eating outside with a plate full of, I believe it's seafood, it might be eggs. So humans, plants, food, animals require sunlight to grow and thrive. What happens when you cover a tomato crop up with a tarp? What happens when you cover a human with a tarp? So everybody obviously knows, cover the tomato tarp, it dies and will die pretty quickly. The human, because of our biology and the way we are created, we're the most complex living organism. It takes a while to kill us. And obviously people can live years indoors, an indoor zoo animal life. Okay? But that doesn't mean you're living optimal. Obviously, here where I live in the United States, we've got a disease epidemic going on. We've got people who are 75% of our population is fat, obese, or overweight, and approximately 80% are sick. And sad part is a lot of people don't know that they're sick, and they continue to live a lifestyle that drives inflammation, drives cell chaos, and eventually that cell chaos, that inflammation, will eventually present itself as a disease or multiple diseases. And the problem is most people in the United States are trained, once they start feeling bad, they go to the doctor. Most doctors are in the have been schooled in the Rockefeller School of Medicine, which means medicine has basically been generalized. Okay, so your general practitioner, general surgeon, they're just going to write up a prescription pill, or a pad. Say, take this, okay, without teaching them about lifestyle. Okay, in my opinion, physicians, doctors, they're the biggest drug dealer on the planet. Okay, and they continue to push their agenda, basically keeping their clients, because they have the mindset, if people get healthy, they're not going to see me, I'm not going to make any money, my business will go out of business, or the hospitals will go out of business, and all that stuff. Okay, but obviously that's what happens. Hey, so all right, so barking dog is going to be a regular part of this podcast when we're outside, obviously. In closing, again, I'm recording this outside, and I went with the complete opposite of Cold Thermogenesis for the meme review with the sun. Obviously, the sun, there's nothing more important than the sun. No food, no supplement, no drug, nothing that can give you the power of the sun. All right. So in the next episode, episode 3, we're going to go over why sunrise is the most important frequency to get, because it allows me to stand out here. It's March now, but in June, July, it'll allow me to stand out here 6 to 8 hours a day in my Kaniki tan through bathing suit. Highly recommend it. Everybody should be as naked as possible in the sun. So our eyes need to see it. Our skin needs to see it. Okay. You make dopamine, you make melatonin, you make POMC, you make beta endorphins, you make nitric oxide, you make vitamin D, you make sulfated cholesterol, which goes on to make vitamin D. Okay? Get out into nature. So my son is over there now. He's out of his little thingamajiggy or whatever. Hey, Peyton, wave. Say hi. Say hi. All right. So get out in nature, collect those electrons. Sunrise, again, most important. I mean, I've had 160, I think my streak is 162, 163 days in a row where I have not missed the sunrise. So I'll catch you next time. Have a great day. Stay strong. Stay positive. Be the improvement warrior.